Hi everyone. I hope you guys are all doing okay. I just came back from a lovely walk outside in a very non-populated area out there in the woods. It's good to get some fresh air. Now I'm back in, and this video is for the people who maybe are thinking that they just have a hard time getting out of a chair. I'm thinking of our seniors. Or just maybe if you're tired because you've been for a good walk and you just want to sit for a while, but still you can move. So I'm going to offer you all a chair yoga little session right now. So I'm going to back up and I'm going to get myself on this chair. I am still in my jammies. This is my blue selection. So I have a little stool which really helps to keep my knees up. When my knees are lower than my hips, it tends to change my whole back. When I have them higher, it makes a difference. So if you have any kind of something, book, a little stool to put yourself with your feet on so you can sit on the chair and not be the knees too below the hips. It's nice and comfortable for the back. So we're just going to start here on the floor, on the chair, and we're going to do a bunch of stuff with this chair. And so just by starting to breathe, just let your eyes close and your mind just slow down a little bit. And if you just close the eyes and take your attention to the breath, just by paying attention to the breath, it tends to slow down. So just start to notice your breath. And take that first big exhale. Just let it out. Just that. And then just find the rhythm in that breath. Just let the rhythm come. Let the breath come in, let the breath go out. And let that be your focus. So before we even do any movement, we should always just start to notice the breath and have it have a calm rhythm. So just allowing that to happen, you can then just drop your arms beside you on the chair so that they're just heavy, they're just dropping. And keeping that rhythm throughout the session. So firstly, I often love to just start with releasing the tension in the neck. I hold my tension in my neck, so just letting the head drop to one side and just allowing the head to fall and just watching your breath, just letting that happen. And you can go down, do a semicircle, and go down and over to the other side and let the ear be on the other side. And watch your breath again. Now, I don't bring my head in a full circle. In other words, I don't go backwards. That tends to just compress the neck spine. So I usually just go side to side, or I go side, and as I'm going to do again, I'm going to bring my head down and just do a half circle forward, not backwards, so that I don't compress the bones or the nerves in the back of the spine of the neck. And I'm going to go back to that first side and just relax, watching the rhythm of the breath, allowing the shoulders to be heavy, the head to be heavy, but keep your heart up. And then again, go to the other side, and just let again the head be calmly brought there, watching the breath, watching the breath. And then go to the center and just let your head fall. Now just be conscious of not letting the whole body go forward, so keep your back on the chair, shoulders are heavy, so the spine is straight, just the head stretches down. Sometimes I like to rock my shoulders like I'm doing now, leaving the head just sort of wobbles, it sort of loosens things up. Then I'll just bring in my head back to the center. Then I'm just going to sit away from the chair a little bit and lift my shoulders up, back and down. And as always, I tend to focus on my shoulder blades in the back of my body to bring some nice release in the back of the body. Not just this part of the shoulder joint, but the shoulder blades which attach to that arm bone. And as you move the shoulder blades, they'll move the arms, instead of the arms moving the shoulder blades, loosening that up. Then we're going to turn our palms up, and that turns the upper arm, this section of the arm up, and it tends to keep a shoulder blades down the back, and it helps to lift your heart. And just bring it up on the inhale and exhale out and down. So you're just watching your breath at the same time. Just arms, one big inhale up, and then one exhale out and down. So the movement is calm, the breath is calm. It's very similar to what I do on the floor, but we can do this in a chair. So the next time I exhale, I'm going to turn my body, and you'll grab whatever you can of the chair and your knee, and relax the shoulder, especially that front one, but the back one as well. So although the arms help you, just calm the shoulders, watch your breath, just go where you feel a happy stretch for your body. And then we'll take a nice breath in, and we're going to go up and over to the other side. And again, just relax the shoulders, watch the breath, and just be here. And one more time on either side. Inhale up and go to this one. Turn, relax the shoulders, and just be here. You're constantly just watching your breath too, just letting the rhythm be continual. So if you find yourself holding your breath, that you notice, and then you just let go, and you go back to that rhythm. The breath coming in, the breath going out. Shoulders relax. And notice what you feel. Don't just do the movements to do them. It's being really attentive. How does it feel to just move and be present? So I'm going to take one hand on the chair, and I'm going to tip sideways. And I'm going to just go where it's enough. I don't want to fall off of it. So I'm just going to ease that hip down. So this hip down. Again, this is very similar if you watch the one on the floor. We could do the very same thing now in a chair, just to warm the body up and bring it to this side. Watching the breath, keeping that rhythm. Breath in and breath out. Always just a calm breath. So all these movements are done in a very nice, easy way. Breath in and go back to this side. And then come back to the center. And we're just going to do a little forward. You might take the feet a little wider. You might still have your bench. You might not. And then just go forward and let the head go. You may not go as far, and that doesn't matter. Wherever your body feels a stretch is just enough. And then come back. Let's do that again. Just come forward and try to have your belly and your heart go forward first. Let the head be the last thing. Because as soon as we drop the head, we tend to round the spine. We're really trying to bend forward more in this folding here as opposed to curling. Having done that though, now let's do the curl. So why don't we just push our back to the chair and drop the head. And then lift your heart up. So this is a cat and dog, some call it cat-cow, and done in a chair. So I'm rounding my spine. I'm going to go ahead and move from the middle of my back to the chair. And I'm going to think of my chest coming up, really just the top of my chest, just under the collarbone, and lifting from there. And one more time. And then lift again on the inhale. All right. Then you can hold the chair, and you can pull your body forward as you're holding the chair, not gripping hard, just hold it and squeeze the shoulder blades together. So you feel that nice stretch in the front of the shoulders, hug the shoulder blades together, and then just release that. And we'll do that again. Hold, lean forward, make sure your chair is stable. So this is a folding chair, and it's not always the most stable. Make sure your chair is on something solid, especially as we continue. We're going to do some stuff standing, and then come back. All right, now let's lean back against the chair. And you can take one leg and stretch it out and do circles with your ankle. We don't think about our feet very much, but right now they've been in boots and socks and slippers all winter, so let's try to loosen up those feet. These are very responsible for keeping us from falling, so we want to keep them in a happy place. I've done circles in two ways. You might just flex and point, and flex and point. And you'll feel different parts of the muscles do stretching, and when you point, the front of the leg stretches. When you flex, the back of the leg stretches. Just be aware of that. Just notice what you're feeling as you're feeling it. And of course, you're still trying to keep your breath rhythm. So let's do the other leg. I'm going to straighten it out, and I'm going to do some circles with it. And I'll go both ways. I'll do a few one way, and then I'll do a few the other way. And then I'm going to flex, and I'm going to point, and I'm going to flex, and I'm going to point. Just loosening that up. And again, when was the last time you thought about your feet, your ankles, let alone the toes? And they've got to be loosened up. And just let that all settle for a moment. Go back to your breath. Return to that rhythm of the breath. See how you're feeling just with that. That's already something, right? So even if we sit and we've only done a few minutes, it still helps loosen us up a bit. So let's do a wider leg. And since my bench here is really sweet, but it's not very big, I'm going to move it aside so we can take our legs wider. And again, go forward, keeping the back straight. Try to just go forward and back. Right? So make sure your feet are on the floor or something sturdy if they're a little higher. And try to keep your back straight and go forward and back. So we're going to get that hip area now to be loosened up a bit. Just forward and back. Back is staying straight. It's a lot easier to do with wider feet and legs. All right. Let's take our feet back together. Go ahead and grab one leg. Bring it as close as you can. If you can actually get it in the chair or on the chair, that's great. And if you can't, just hug it in where you can. And just let that stretch happen. And then bring that down. We'll take the other leg, bring it up to the chair, and just hug that and let it happen. Or let it just be with what's happening. Just notice the feeling, keeping the breath rhythm calm, just being in there, in your body, noticing. Let's go ahead and do the other leg again. I always like to go a couple times because it gives the body a chance to get used to the movement, and it tends to feel a little bit more liberated the second time. Of course, because the more you move, the more you're starting to loosen and the body becomes more fluid. We really need movement. Our joints have synovial fluid in them that can get sticky, but when we move them, it sort of makes it more fluid, more liquidy. As well, the muscle tissue and the fascia tissue, it needs movement to get more liquidy too. And our body is really happy when it's liquidy and fluidy. If you feel that I'm going to do the other one again. So this is the third time I'm on this one, and I'll continue my little talk in a minute. I'm going to do this. Now I'm going to take this ankle, and I'm going to bring it on my thigh. And your leg may look higher than mine, and that's totally fine. And put your hand, not so much on the knee, but go find the middle of the thigh and see if you can bring that down. So yeah, so the muscles and the fascia, and our body and our joints, they love to be fluid. And if you wake up and you say you feel stiff, and then you notice after a little bit of movement, a little bit of walking, that you tend to feel a little less stiff, that's just because really what's happening in the body is it gets lubricated. So movement is so essential to our bodies, muscles, joints. We're going to take that leg down and then take the other one up. I always like to educate a little bit when I teach, just so you know, I'm throwing that in these home classes as well. Hopefully that will be something that you are also enjoying as much as the movement. We're going to take that ankle and bring it up here. And the other thing is, of course, that, our lymphatic system, our immune system, and our lungs, of course, which we all know we're going to be really concerned about the health of our lungs right now because this virus tends to attack them. So just getting that breath going. So keep that rhythm of the breath. And just know that, just having some movement and our lungs being activated just keeps exercising. The lungs are muscles as well. So we want to keep that going. And again, you're going to put somewhere near the middle of the leg, not so much the knee. Your hand will just press a little bit down. Don't force it. And then come back up. All right. And then just do these little windshield wipers. Just go side to side. I'm on the tips of my toes, and I'm just making my legs go. Just a little movement side to side. And now I'm going to turn sideways on my chair and sort of be on the edge of it. So this part of me, this part of my seat is it's half on and half off. And I'm just going to do a little warrior on the chair. I'm going to hold the chair, and I can hold it here. I'm going to just stretch my leg back like this. Just stretch the back of the calf, and it's sort of an equal to a lunge or a little warrior, and just be here and stretch. Sometimes I like going back and forth. Again, movement is really healthy. And just keep that going, just bringing it back and forth. And then you might stay there a little bit. You can adapt this to whatever you feel. Maybe you just want to hang out there. Maybe you like the going back and forth. And at times I brought it out and around and out and back. And there we go. So this is one. You can also just lift the arm and lift both if you feel steady enough. And we'll bring that down. We're going to go the other way. So I'm going to turn myself on the chair. And again, I'm going to have part of this sort of off the chair and the other part on. I keep bringing my pajamas up. I just feel that this is the home of me. And I'm thinking lots of you might be in your pajamas as I am. I love pajama days. And I saw a post laughing about there's the day pajamas and night pajamas. That's sort of what I'm living right now. This, of course, is a regular casual top. I think part of me wants to be that yoga teacher and part of me wants to be just home, which I am in my jammies. So as you see, I'm just still moving my leg back and forth and back and forth. We have seniors yoga at the home yoga studio, and girls, if you're watching it, I'm saying hi to y'all. And I know part of it is the social connection. That's really good. Sometimes as we get older, we have less social outings and stuff, and so we really recognize that might be it. I'm bringing my leg out and back now. And so that's why I'm a little more chatty with this one. I want to just keep you all company in it and know that if you're feeling lonely and reclused and you have very few visitors because, you know, you're in that age group, then know that this video will stay on. You can keep watching it, and we hope that when everything's better, you might try to come into the center and do some yoga with Maureen, who teaches the seniors, Maureen Young. I know she's doing some classes online right now with the group too. So we'll all trying to do our best. So now just notice how you feel after that movement, and just sit, gain back that rhythm of the breath. All right. So now I'm actually going to stand up, and we're going to use the chair to do some stuff. So I'm going to stand up, and I'm going to turn around. Now I'm going to bring my chair, make sure it's on something that doesn't slip. So I have my chair on this beautiful rug, and I'm going to just stand behind it. So first thing you do is just walk back. As I walk back, I tend to lift my sit bones, so I don't want the back to get rounded. I want to actually lift the sit bones like that. And just walk, and your knees can bend, and just walk back and drop wherever you feel your body can go, and let the head go here. Just getting a little bend, a little stretch. I love this stretch. You can do this holding a counter in the kitchen at any time. If you feel that you're too curled and too rounded at times, it's a great way to just keep going. So I'm going to walk back again. And again, I'm tipping my hips, letting my heart drop, and coming back up. All right. Now, depending on your balance, you could use the chair, or you might be okay without it. I'm going to take one leg back. What I like to do for older bodies is a lot of, instead of just staying too long in a pose, to do some more movement in it. As I said, this is what regulates the lubrication in our body and helps bring it to be more fluid. So as you see, instead of just leaving my knee bent and being so active in it, I'm just going to go back and forth. And again, if you want, you can take the arms up and just go down and back. The back leg stays straight, and it's the front one that bends. And I'm doing it nice and slow, so I'm using more muscles by doing nice and slow than if I went really fast. I might hold it for a few breaths. You can have one hand on the chair or both hands on the chair. Then I'm going to take that leg straight, and I'll back up just a bit, and I'll lean forward. As you see, I'm still trying to not round the back down here, but I'm trying to curl my hips up and drop towards the chair, and then come back. It's fine if the front leg wants to bend a little bit. Just slowly doing it, see where it can go. So now I'm going to take the other leg, and I'm going to slowly bend and bring it straighter. And I'm bending, just getting some movement in that joint. I went for a nice walk, which was good, and it's nice just to do a gentle class right now. And back. And if you choose, you can let go of one or both arms, and you can keep doing that. Or you can just stay there if you like, and hang in there if that's what you feel like doing. There's really not a rule or law about it all. And then I'm just going to keep the legs straighter. I'm going to tip my hips, keep that nice arch that's natural in the back, and go forward with my heart. And come back up. We can do that a couple times. Go down and come back up. And then I'm going to take that leg forward. This time I'm going to go sideways. So I'm facing you, and I'm going to bend this front knee, keeping the back one straight. The difference is now I'm facing sideways on my whatever it is, and my body is moving the knee outwards. I'm still trying to create that movement, gentle and slow. You might lift an arm if you don't need it on the chair. And you can also take yourself sideways with the legs straight. Doesn't matter how far you go, just wherever your body can. And then come back down and up again. All right, now I'm going to turn around, and I'll take this chair with me so you don't have the back of me. Instead, you still have the front of me, but I switched sides. Now I'm going to bend that knee again. Again, I'm just slowly going back and forth. You can choose to leave the hand on the chair, or you can bring them up if you want. You might do simultaneous movements of the arms and the knees. Right? Any movement, just keeping some movement with breath. We're inhaling up and exhaling down. Inhaling up and exhaling down. Right? Or letting the inhale be straight and exhale down this way. Let's go down and back up. And down and back up. With the breath, so it would be inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up and exhale down. And then come back to standing. I'm hoping whoever sees this that you might pass it around to somebody who's at home, who's maybe less mobile most of the time, a senior you know. If you've got some young kids out there, then send it to your grandma. You don't have to be old to do this. You can enjoy and get a lot out of it if you're just feeling tired and you don't feel like doing more. You know, sometimes just a little movement makes us go a long way. All right, so now I'm going to bring the chair back here, and I'm going to move back again, just centering. And do a centered stretch. All right. And come back up. I'm going to do that once more. Moving back. Lifting the hips, of course. And dropping down. And walking forward. You might choose to walk forward with one leg first. And then bring the other leg forward. And switch that up. Then this leg back first. And then this leg forward. All right. And just take a moment to breathe. Okay, the next thing we can do is try a little balancing. So we all need to be working on our balance. This is, of course, really important, why I started with feet too. So put all your weight on one foot and take the other foot out. Now you're totally welcome to cheat, just leave the toes on the floor. If you need the chair, that's fine, it's right there. You're still standing on the leg. You're still not holding yourself completely with the hand, but the leg is doing the work. But see if you can lift the hip of the bent knee. And that tends to take the dropping the hip outwards and lining it up. So this is me lifting up. And the toes can stay here. If you really feel safe, you might want to hold your hands together. You can bring them up in any shape you want. Any shape. And we'll bring that down. We'll do the other knee. You can actually leave the chair there and just do the knee here. Or you can move yourself to the other way. If you kind of feel like that feels weird and you want equal time, you can take the other hand to the chair, turn it around. I won't do that. And you can just leave the foot down. But instead of having the hip out, see if you can push the foot or lift this hip of the bent knee so that you're not hanging out there, but you're pushing and lengthening, lifting the heart. You can lift one arm, you can lift both. Make sure that you're safe. And if you feel the wobbling, know that you're still practicing not falling. That's all we want to do. We just want to keep working on that, right? And then I'll just walk that out. You tend to notice the feet just did a lot of work. And we're going to take a little breath. Just stand here. Notice how you're feeling. Just take a nice breath in and out. All right. We'll do one last thing. I'm going to take the chair around. Not really the last thing, but the last thing standing. what I'll do is I'm going to make sure this is a folding chair. So you see it folds this way. Now I'm using that because it's just an easier chair than a heavy kitchen one that I have. Instead, I'm going to use this one. So what I'm going to make sure is that I put the foot not where it'll fold, right? I don't want to put it there so it folds. Make sure it's on the edge here. And I'm going to lean forward. This is a nice way just to get a little stretch for the hip. I'm leaning forward, keeping the back leg straight, and I'll come. I'm going to do that again. So you might put the whole foot on there, and then lean forward, and then come back. Just that movement of the hip, right? Just back and forth, and back and forth. All right, let's do the other side. So I'm going to take the other knee, bend it, put that foot on the thing, and if that on the chair, and if that seems to be already rocking, just lifting, that you can always hold the chair, bring the knee to a bend, and put the foot on there, so you make sure that you're not toppling over trying to get there. So I'm going to go back, keep my heart up, and I'm going to go down this way, up this way with the heart. Hip goes back, heart goes down, hip goes forward, heart comes up. Just going to keep lubricating all the joints, moving them around. All right, so now I'm going to take that and let go and just stand again. Just notice how you're feeling. And I'm going to take my chair and I'm going to put it back and I'm going to come back and sit on it. And just take a few breaths. Let out any effort you felt you did. Just notice how you're feeling. You can also do things for the hands. If some of you have been on the computer longer, you can just take your hands and stretch them out and bring them back and then bring them out. Take a nice inhale, bring them up and bring them forward as you exhale. Bring them up as you inhale, forward as you exhale, and then turn them back around. Close your eyes again and just let all that settle in. Breathe. One big sighing breath. Just let it out. I was not looking at the time, so I'm guessing it's probably a good 20 minutes, maybe a bit more. It doesn't take a lot to just feel a little loosened up. So take time, listen to this video a few times. There's going to be more videos to come. I thought I would take care of the people who maybe have less stability and less mobility, and so I thought I'd offer them this chair yoga first. I have a few fun sessions that I'm going to come. I'm just going to let it be that it's going to be fun. So I've got at least a couple more videos that will be interesting and fun and keep going. Evelyn, also a teacher from home, is doing videos that we're posting. And yesterday I spent the whole day opening a YouTube channel. All these videos will be on YouTube. Sometimes that Facebook feed gets a little inundated on the Home Yoga Center page, but my YouTube is Helene Couvrette, H-O-M Yoga, and so go subscribe, and I'm going to keep adding stuff there. There's also some interviews of me that I'll post on there, and some meditation that I put on there, which is also on Facebook. So however you're watching this, thank you for watching, and I really hope that you're getting something out of it. And I do hope that you're continuously breathing. And so we'll end just with that. Close your eyes for another few moments. And just watch your breath. Last one. Just 4 breaths can really change and bring us in and calm us down. So I wish you all joy, health, and I'm so happy to offer this. I hope that it brings some of you some comfort in this time. I've got a few messages, quite a few people thanking me, and I'm really honored to be able to offer it and feel that maybe for some of you who are inside and need this, that it's helping you. That's great joy for me. So I'm going to walk forward and turn this off. And again, I wish you all the best. Have a fabulous day. We'll get through this. It's almost done. It won't be too long. Time will be just a blip. And one day we'll look back and it'll just be a blip in the past. So enjoy.